So, just want to talk about probably one of the most asked questions actually on the group, and that I get asked is, how do you work out your calorie deficit? So what calories should you be consuming to lose weight, to either maintain your weight, or even to gain weight? Calorie counting, calorie deficit, whatever, the term calorie, it has a different meaning for all of us. So, we're all at a different stage. We might want to lose weight, maintain, or gain weight. So the simplest way to do it is you need to find what we call a TDEE calculator. So basically, total daily energy expenditure calculator. So if you literally just type in TDEE calculator into Google, you'll probably get a few different options. The one on tdecalculator.net is the one that we tend to use, or the James Smith one's a great one. What you do need to be aware of is that they all use a slightly different formula in terms of what your end deficit would be. So the James Smith, for instance, will use maybe a 15% one. So it's just important to realise that they won't all give you the same figure. You'll find that the more you do, so the NHS app, I believe, does one, so that gives you one. NutriCheck app, if you were to complete all their information, the same with MyFitnessPal, that would give you a completely different number to the TDE calculators. You'll find we don't ever promote using the food tracking app calculators, the deficit that it gives you, basically because they're so low, the calories that they give you, they're just not sustainable in the long term at all. Yes, you would lose weight with them because you're on a ridiculous amount of calories for what you actually need, and you'll just be starving all the time. Yes, you'll lose weight in the short term, but the long term, it's not ideal. So, like I say, go on to one of the calculators. We do have one pinned to the group. I'll pop one into the community as well. So you fill that in. Obviously, it goes on individual height, weight, age, male, female, that kind of thing, your daily activity. So whether you're sedentary, so you're sat most of the day in an office type job, or you're really active, you've got an active job and you do a lot of exercise, the gym, walking, that kind of thing. So try and figure out what it is, where your activity level sits with that. It will come up on the tde.net one, it will come up with your maintenance calories first, but if you can scroll down with that one and it'll take you to a cutting tab, or there's a bulking tab, but for the purposes of losing weight, you'd want to be on the cutting tab. And it basically subtracts 500 calories away from your maintenance calories. So say, for instance, your maintenance calories, like mine are 2,400, I believe, or when I last what they were. So then subtract 500 away from that. That is giving me 3,500 calorie deficit over the course of a week. So 3,500 calories equates to 1 pound of fat. So that would give me a loss of 1 pound a week. Now, scientifically and on paper, it should be straightforward. So if you're eating in a deficit of 500 a day over the week, great, you're going to lose a pound. But actually, especially when you first start out, you will lose a lot more because you've been overeating, and you won't even know how many calories you've been overeating because obviously you've not even been tracking it at this point. You're so unaware of what your maintenance or your deficit calories should be. So you'll find, or if you've got a lot of weight to lose, like obviously I had a lot, so my losses were great. Like there was 3, 4, 5, 6 pound a week, some weeks for months and months. But obviously that does slow down, or if you've not got a lot to lose, you will find it, harder to lose those last few pounds. Like I've definitely struggled towards that last sort of stone, half a stone. Obviously not much left to lose. It becomes tough because your calories then reduce as well, because obviously you're not needing as many calories to sustain yourself. But again, for some people, because they're only short, or they've not got a lot to lose, their maintenance calories are not that high, so they could be sort of 15, 16, 1700. So then if you were to subtract 500 from that, it's taking you into like 1200s and below, which is, something that we would never suggest. So it's a case of, it doesn't have to be a 500 calorie deficit. We can look at it and do it as a 200, a 300 calorie. Obviously, yes, the losses would be slower, but you would still lose. So that's the first and foremost thing that you need to do as soon as you sort of think about wanting to lose weight, is to get your calorie number of what it is that you need to be eating in order to lose weight.